Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are reviewing the brand new Ray-Ban RB0360 Drifter sunglasses. But first, I'll thank today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, just like these up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, the website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So let's go ahead and pop these sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 57mm lenses and a 20mm bridge. And it's the standard and only size of these sunglasses that Ray-Ban produces these frames in. They're not produced in a smaller or a larger lens size, but right out of the box, these frames are obviously a very large pair of sunglasses with the 57mm lens size, and they're supposed to offer that oversized styling to them. Honestly, these frames kind of offer almost a visor look of how large these frames actually are. But right out of the box, these frames are going to fit my face actually really good as far as the sizing goes. I didn't do any adjustments or anything like that with these frames right out of the box. They fit really, really good, which I was really surprised at. I thought for sure with 57mm lens size and a 20mm bridge, these frames were going to be a little bit large and I'd have to bring them in and adjust them even to just make the video. But right out of the box, they do fit my face really good. Now, if you do have a smaller face or a larger size face than me, of course, these frames can be heated up, and there is a metal stem that runs all the way down through the temples, so it's going to hold up the adjustment, so you can heat these frames up and then bend them out and give them a custom fit to your face professionally. So really nice stuff there, and definitely have some flexibility there. Now, something that I do want to mention here is these frames come in an absolutely massive Ray-Ban box. So I don't know if it's going to kind of translate on video, but this box is huge. And then here we can see the case again is way bigger than the standard Ray-Ban case, and that's because when you fold these frames up, they're still going to be very, very large, and that's not going to fit in a standard aviator case, that is for sure. So that's why they have the extra large case that comes with this pair of sunglasses. Now, as far as the exact colorway that I'm wearing in today's video, these have Ray-Ban's polished Stripe Havana propionate frames, and they look really good. Not quite as good as an acetate material would. The colors to this propionate material still look really, really nice. And then as far as the lenses go, we just have their classic G15 standard lens. This is an all glass lens, so the optic clarity of these is really, really good, and I do like these a lot. They're also going to have very good scratch resistance as well, because again, they are an all glass lens. Now, if we take a look at the front of the frames, you can see a little painted on Ray-Ban logo there for authentication purposes. And of course, we can also see this massive bridge here as well, which is really interesting. Then we can see a little etched RB logo there in the middle left of the lens. Now, if we take a look here at the outside temples, we can see massive temples, and we can see a little Ray-Ban logo, and that's going to be a raised Ray-Ban logo in both the left and the right hand side for styling purposes, but there are not any metal accents here on the front of the frames, which kind of cleans up the style as far as the front look goes. I would say these frames are most similar to Ray-Ban's classic boyfriend style, which looks really good as well. Personally, I think I actually kind of like these a little better. I really do like the propionate material better than, I believe those have nylon material. I could be wrong, but the propionate colorways that these frames have are really, really nice, and they look much more classy. Again, very similar to an acetate, so I do like those more because of that. And they also don't have the metal accents, which again, I think kind of just cleans up the style of these frames. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering what the weight is, because these frames do look really big. They do have the all glass lenses, and they are made out of propionate with a metal stem that runs down them. These frames are going to weigh 55 grams, so a very, very heavy pair of frames right out of the box. You're definitely going to feel some discomfort if you wear these frames for hours and hours at a time. I definitely felt discomfort when I wore these frames for more than 3 hours here, but the balance is actually really good. So even though they have those glass lenses, the temples are also large, so it's actually going to balance it out really good. So here we can see that's actually a really well-balanced pair of frames, and because of that, it's going to distribute the weight on the face very nice and evenly, which definitely does really make a difference. But at the end of the day, it's still a heavy pair of frames at 55 grams, so definitely not the most practical pair of sunglasses. Now, as far as coverage from sun goes, these frames are going to offer okay coverage from sun. So here up top, we can see a pretty big gap to let sunlight in unprotected. Then here on the side, there isn't a massive gap. It's like a kind of standard size gap, so nothing too crazy. So they're, you know, an averagely practical pair of frames. Nothing too crazy, even though they do have kind of visor style, they're not going to offer nearly as practicality as something like an Oakley visor pair of sunglasses would. Now, as far as build quality goes, these frames are actually built really nicely. They do have that propionate material, all glass lenses, 7-barrel all metal hinges, which feel extremely premium and nice when opening up and when closing them. And these are Ray-Ban's brand new metal hinge, which has a little Ray-Ban logo there and is a really beefy 7-barrel hinge. It just looks really, really nice. I do like that a lot. So very high quality lenses, frames, and then hinges as well. As far as the polishing goes, these frames look absolutely beautifully polished right out of the box. I don't see any imperfections whatsoever. And when you close the temples, it makes a perfect seal there, or a perfect line. There isn't a gap at all. So just really high quality as far as the build quality goes. And that's actually surprising because these frames are actually made in China. So here, if we take a look at the inner right temple of frames, we can see it says Ray-Ban T made in China. And then if we take a look here at the inner left temple of the frames, we can see the exact model number and colorway code information. So even though the fact these frames are indeed made in China, the build quality here is still really good. With Ray-Ban's Chinese frames, a lot of them are kind of garbage and a lot of them are pretty decent. These are probably one of the best Chinese Ray-Ban frames that I've reviewed in a really long time. Honestly, there's absolutely nothing that would make me think that these frames are made in China as far as the build quality goes. They're actually built really, really nice. However, the frames are definitely very expensive, coming in at $191 with non-polarized lenses. And I really don't want to get into the weeds here, but basically the labor rate in China is significantly less than it is in Italy. So in theory, these frames are much cheaper to produce than something like the Ray-Ban original Wayfarers. And the fact that these frames cost more than the original Wayfarers, even though they're made in China, is absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, I think these frames should be cheaper because they're made in China and they're cheaper to produce. So reflect that price with the buyers. But that's just simply not something that Ray-Ban seems like they are doing here. They're charging you full, Italian prices for a pair of Chinese frames. But with that being said, again, the build quality is the exact same as something that I would expect to see out of a pair of Italian-made Ray-Bans. So at the end of the day, you're paying what you're paying for the pair of frames, and if you're okay with that, then that's all that really matters. So I'm going to leave a link in the description down below directly to Ray-Ban's website, where you can check out these frames and all the different colorways available on there. And we also do have a couple of these available on our website for a substantial discount off the original MSRP, which definitely makes justifying the purchase of a pair of frames that are made in China a lot better. Getting $50 off or whatever it's going to be definitely kind of makes it better in my opinion. So definitely make sure to check out our website as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about this pair of sunglasses in the comment section down below. Do you love these? Do you hate these? Do you own a pair? I personally kind of like them. I'm really not into the kind of flashy and overstyled pair of sunglasses and kind of that visor style. That's personally not my favorite kind of style here, but I still do objectively think that they look pretty decent. But yeah, let me know what you think about them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. And of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you won't miss any new videos that are released to this YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.